Planning to visit New Zealand? Then join us on our epic campervan trip through this beautiful country. We will take you to breathtaking fjords. We will explore the wonderful Abel Tasman National Park by kayak. We will get the adrenaline flowing with a 5,000-meter skydive and a breathtaking jet boat trip. And we take you on a fantastic hike around Mount Cook. If you are planning a trip to New Zealand, this video will be hugely helpful in preparing your journey. After arriving in New Zealand, we decided not to stay in Auckland, but to rent a cabin on Waiheke Island, which is a 40-minute boat trip from Auckland CBD. Waiheke is a little paradise with a pleasant atmosphere, nice restaurants, wineries and beautiful beaches. After soaking in the wonderful atmosphere of Waiheke Island, it was time to pick up our camper. Originally, we wanted to hire a four-wheel drive, but the problem was that the rental car companies would not allow us to drive the really exciting tracks. And why would we then need a four-wheel drive if we can't do serious off-roading? Therefore, we opted for this big white beast. It will be our home for the next 5 weeks. Let's have a look inside and see what Birgit thinks about this.
Well, I'm checking everything now and it is a huge space, which we're not used to it, but because in a lake cruiser it's so tiny. But I can imagine that we can get used to that, and especially with colder weather, I'm sure we've enjoyed that.
After some shopping, we were on the road towards the Bay of Islands, which is located in the northeast of the North Island. Pahir is a getaway to the islands. A boat takes us to the hole in a rock, which we pass through, and to the beautiful town called Russell. Today, Russell is a peaceful place, and in the 19th century, it was called Hellhole of the Pacific, indicating that times were quite rough back then. The real highlight of the area are the beautiful islands dotted in the turquoise water. Even with an overcast sky, they look gorgeous. In the evening, the boat takes us back to the shore, and the next morning we are on the road again. Our destination is something special: Hobbiton, the original movie set from Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies. Arriving early in the evening, the landscape around Hobbiton welcomes us with a mystical appearance. Today we are at Hobbiton. Normally you need a booking quite in advance, but we were lucky. We just showed up here very early this morning and got into the 8:40 tour. Quite honestly, I was very skeptical about visiting this movie set. I am not a fan of fantasy movies or fantasy books at all. But I must say that this is really interesting. It is amazing to see the attention to detail in everything they did here. Even for things that are only visible in the movie for seconds. And it is also interesting to see how well everything is being organized here for the tours. Very impressive. Now we are at the end of our tour and we will drive to Rotorua. Today we really had two nice experiences. After Hobbiton in the morning, we are now at Taupo at Rotorua, visiting not only the geysers and the mud lakes, but also very interestingly the Maori Arts and Crafts Center, where people are being taught the way of creating traditional Maori artwork. Very, very interesting. It's a self-funding entity that lives from the entrance fee of the people visiting the place. And fantastic guide. Very interesting to learn about the history of the Maori people and the artwork of the traditional tribes. I can only highly recommend it. It was a full day with lots of impressions, so we are happy to have a relaxing evening on the shore of Lake Taupō. Next stop is the town of Napier with its many Art Deco buildings. What looks beautiful today is actually a result of a disastrous earthquake nearly 100 years ago, during which the town was completely destroyed and afterwards rebuilt. Now it is time to take the ferry to the South Island. Another gorgeous day is greeting us, making the ride to Picton across the Cook Strait a spectacular experience. We stay in the area of Picton, and the next morning we're hiking along the beautiful Queen Charlotte Track. From there, it is quite a long but mostly nice drive to the Abel Tasman National Park, where we will stay for 3 nights on quite a busy campground near the shoreline. Everything at Abel Tasman is extremely well organized. You can rent kayaks and paddle along the coast as long as you want. You can then leave your kayak on any beach and hike back to the campground. The guys from the kayak hire will pick your kayak up and bring it back for you. You can also just take a water taxi to one of the many beaches and then hike a while and take a water taxi from another beach. The possibilities are endless and the area is just beautiful. For us, it's the most beautiful part of New Zealand. We hired a kayak and explored the shoreline of the Abel Tasman Park, stopped at secluded beaches and soaked in the lush green nature. Again, we were very lucky with the weather. Cape Farewell is the most northerly point on the South Island. It was named after Captain James Cook in 1770, as it was the last land seen by him and his crew when departing New Zealand. From Cape Farewell, we drove southwards along the west coast. Initially, the weather was good, but then it changed into heavy rain. As the forecast was rather bad, we decided to drive across the mountains and go straight to Milford Sound. A wonderful day at Milford Sound is coming to an end. We arrived very early this morning at 8 a.m, just before most of the people came, just to soak in the atmosphere, stroll around a bit before then going on a boat. And we had a 2-hour boat trip on the fjord, which was really nice. We saw seals, we saw dolphins, and of course the spectacular landscape of the Milford Sound. It is an amazing day because we have blue sky all day and not a single cloud. And still now it's 6 o'clock in the evening. It's wonderful, it's warm, the sun is shining, and we are staying a little bit longer to take some nice, hopefully nice, pictures of the sunset here in the Sound, try some long exposure pictures as well, and just enjoy the peacefulness of the area. It is not that peaceful right now because every 2 minutes there's a helicopter or a plane taking off from the nearby airport to take people on scenic flights. That is quite disturbing. But hey, there are different ways of looking at the beautiful landscape. We can only recommend this. We were a bit lucky with the weather, of course, because 2 out of 3 days it rains here in Milford Sound. And we had now a full day with blue sky, and tomorrow it is expected to be similar. It was not a coincidence completely, because we saw on the weather forecast that there will be a window of opportunity, and changed our mind. We were on the west coast and then decided to skip Franz Josef Glacier because it was bad weather there anyway, and drove through the mountains 700 kilometers or what to the campground near Milford Sound, and I must say it was absolutely worth it. The landscape in between was quite nice from time to time, but of course specifically enjoying Milford Sound during beautiful sunshine is something special and was worth the hassle. Tomorrow we will continue our journey. Initially we will do some smaller walks in the area and then head back to Wanaka, which is a nice little town, a bit touristy, a bit busy, on a nice lake. And we will stay there for a few days. We rented an apartment. We'll do some hikes and walks in the area. Apparently it's very, very nice. And then on Friday so 2 days from now, Birgit will finally do her skydive. She has been looking forward to it for many years. She always wanted to do it, but she always said, I want to do it in New Zealand because of the spectacular scenery. I don't want to do it somewhere in Germany. So today is the day for Birgit. She will climb into a plane and jump out of the door at 15,000 feet, 5,000 meters. At the moment she is getting dressed up for the jump. We are here at Wanaka Skydive, the company where our sons actually booked the skydive for Birgit because that was a birthday present for her last birthday. And I will follow the whole thing from here, from the ground. The plane has taken off and is now up there circling to gain height, and when they have reached 5,000 meters, Birgit will jump out or will be dragged out of the plane to the parachute jump, and they should come down actually behind me in the distance near the mountains, and then they will be bussed in here again. So, Birgit, du bist zurück. Wie war's?
Ja, es war so geil, ey. Und es war leider viel zu schnell vorbei. Es war so geil.
After all this action, it was time for rest. A rest on a nice campground near Queenstown. But only for a short period of time. Then the action continued. First with a nice rafting tour, and then with a high-speed jet boat. We spent another day around Queenstown, and then it was time for the final highlight of our trip, Mount Cook. The weather was fantastic and we decided to jump on a helicopter and discover the amazing landscape from above. Absolutely stunning. The Mount Cook area is not only beautiful from above, it is also an excellent hiking area. From there on, we slowly traveled towards Christchurch, and after spending 2 days in the city, it was time to say goodbye to New Zealand.